cool till they started hiding them in my guitars. That's a dick move.
That is a dick move.
Anyway, there are 120 of them. I haven't found one in days. I forget where I was going with this.
Do you need fingers and toes to count how many?
No, I need crayons, hose.
Crayons, fingers, and some toes, and some toes. So who... God, I had a question. Again, with the brain, mid-sentence. So are you the funniest person in your family, or do you think you got it from somebody?
Oh, I definitely got it from my dad. My dad, 6'8", Navy nuke sub engineer. And if you have ever seen the inside of a nuke sub and can read height, you'll understand how fucked that is. My dad was in the Navy in the 70s, where people would fight people in the military just for being in the military. So he learned to fight good. I remember being like 14, 15, and my friends were over, my girlfriend was over. I decided to try and fight my dad, and that was a mistake.
Usually is.
We get better at fighting the more we do it. And usually as a teenager, we are not at that academic level of the military. Do not try and fight the military. They will kick your ass and laugh about it. So anyway, my dad's out there, and like he wants me to like break down a pallet or some shit, like something completely reasonable, because I am like living there, eating food, drinking sodas, not just water, sodas, and I'm like, fuck you, Dad, I ain't gotta listen to you, I'm a fucking teenager, I'm a badass, and I throw this punch from like 6 counties away, right? And my dad sees it coming. And like any parent, because I haven't been a parent, but I'm a step parent, I understand like that fight's coming. And you train for it, because you got to win that one. You ever lost a fight without anyone hitting a punch? So this belt line punch I was throwing, he waited around, like smoked a cigarette, looked at a newspaper, like this bitch was fucking coming. And he just dodged it, grabbed me by the throat by his elbow, and hung me over his hip while lecturing me and eyeing every one of my friends to dare them. He gets a little fuzzy after that. He's real kind. He laid me down without like me hitting my head, and like bucks at every single one of my friends, because my dad is 6'8". Like that is a monster. And then he goes in and has a beer, like an American. And, I regain consciousness, and my friends and my girlfriend are there, and they're like, oh my God, that sucks, what happened? That was her. The rest of them are like, why the fuck did you try and fight your dad? Are you crazy? That is a fucking monster. Like, the Bible even got help from God to fight somebody that big. Are you stupid? My dad's always been like a big shit-talking motherfucker. Like, that's just him. And, I do it. I just don't give a shit about sports. And, like, that's his whole thing, man. He joined the Navy because David Robinson, like, he got fined by a church league for dunking in his 50s. No, 100%. He was like 58 or some shit. And he got on a breakaway last game of the fucking season. And not like a sky hook dunk. Jumped, turned around, behind the back, Shaq dunk. And they find him, and like they didn't bother to tell him because God forbid churches like come to you directly. They're just like, oh, you can't play softball. He's like, why? And there's a fine. He's like, a fine for what? And they're like, dunking. And he's like, that is the most entertained those people have ever been. So they paid a $50 fine. So my dad's like the Dennis Rodman of Upward.
Church league basketball.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. My dad's also come to my comedy shows and asked for a TV to be turned on so he can watch the basketball game.
Nice.
While I'm telling that story.
Damn.
Yeah, no, that's definitely where I get it from, because you end up with two things in life. And I know I've said this time and time again. I'll say it time and time again. You end up with two things in life. Friends and stories. You gotta make sure you don't bore your friends with your stories.
Yep, definitely. I know one of my biggest influences in my family, especially just for making people laugh and smile, was my grandfather. This dude, I loved him so much. Marvin Steinberg. Like, God rest your soul. I miss you. We would just be sitting there, and you could just tell it's too quiet. There'd just be this lull. And you know some bullshit was coming. You knew some bullshit was coming. Some weird story. Because it would always start off like this, just... So there I was, an old '06 with Kaiser Wilhelm. And it was always old '06 and Kaiser Wilhelm and just something of the old world. And then he'd just go on into this made-up old man tangent like Grandpa Simpson. And it was the best. And it was weird, and I miss that. It was like, I miss my grandpa so much. I think he would love me doing stand-up now.
Well, I know I'm a little biased, but you fucking kill it. Like, you get on stage, and, you know, you're usually wearing your working boobs.
Yes, I call them, they're either my working boobs, or as I like to call them, my emotional support titties. Because
how I say it's way funnier.
I mean, yeah, they're honestly, yeah, my big, huge, fake boobies actually help with my social anxiety because it's how I feel I should be perceived. It helps with my gender dysphoria, which is a whole other show and topic that we are going to eventually get into. We are going to have a queer comedy episode.
Oh, yeah. We have so much in the works, but y'all asked for this, so y'all can take it. That sounded mean. Like, here it is. Y'all asked for it. Enjoy.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, you come out as a completely... You put so much more effort into getting on stage than I do. Like, I've literally been like, which joke's am I going to do, like, a minute before I get on stage? You do hair, nails, makeup, tits. Like, it is phenomenal how much you do for a show where half the crowd is talking for no goddamn reason. They won't listen to me when I tell them to shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I know it's weird because, like, I have to put a lot of effort in, and I'm gonna probably reiterate this again when we do the queer comedy episode. It's like I feel like I got to put in a lot of effort because I want people to hear my jokes, because I know as soon as I step up, half of them that have never met me before or heard me or heard my jokes are trying to figure out what the fuck I am. And I'm like, bitch, I'm a meat popsicle. You're thinking way too much. There is a person vocalizing sentences and words. Listen to the sentences and words.
We're all there. We're all there to make people laugh, and it shouldn't matter. Unfortunately, it does. And, but like, I'm a comedian, and one of my favorite moments, and one of the ones where I'm like, oh shit, I made it. I just got done with a comedy show at Reboot because, I like walked down to Cherry and MLK or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I'm chilling out there and like sweaty, a little gross, ties undone, and Utoya's there, and like that was one of the kindest human beings I've ever fucking met, and she's there. I'm like, how'd your show go? And she's like, it went good, but goddamn, all these fucking stupid people. It's not that we hate people, but there's always stupid people, And we just sat there and talked about the industry from two polar opposite points. I do stand-up comedy. She does drag. But we're both there, and we're both just tired and a little hungry and just bitching about it. And, like, just that validation from her, It meant the goddamn world to me. And that's when I was like, holy shit. I'm a real entertainer. I'm a real comic. I had to keep going. So, that was the thing.
Yeah.
So what is your best show? And what is your worst show? And please don't make both of them my shows.
Well, I've got a new worst show. And no, I want to. This actually beats out me being too drunk to speak. So, Trey, you remember this? We did a run up into Atlanta to do some bars and stuff up there recently.
Oh, the one where we did the Burger Shack where they tried to charge us $30 for parking.
Yes. Okay, so this is the worst show. And it's like an underground thing. I forgot his name. Who was putting it on? Who was?
Oh, Christopher Show.
Yeah, Christopher Show.
Show enough.
Great guy. He's trying.
Amazing host.
Yeah.
Worst microphone ever.
Yeah. Like,
motherfucker literally broke in half while I was on stage.
Yeah. So like, it was just a weird situation because this really was my worst show. I get up there, like, we had to drive like 2 hours in peak traffic time.
Thanks, Atlanta.
Yeah. To get there. The whole time we were like talking about it, and like I've never performed in Atlanta or anywhere in the Atlanta scene. Like, I've done it once at an all trans talent show.
Oh yeah, Lauren Duncan put it on. Is that her
Lauren Jones,
work?
I believe.
Lauren Jones, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry. Lauren Duncan is her Facebook name. Lauren Jones is her work name.
Yeah,
my bad.
So comedian Lauren Jones put that on. And they do it like every quarter, which is really nice. So
you got to build a show sometimes.
Yeah. But I've done it once before there, but that was a way different experience.
Yeah, we did that one with Devin.
Yeah, we went to Atlanta with Devin, and we were just doing some bars and just trying to hit up some open mics. And so we do this burger place, which is in the basement of a Whole Foods.
Yes, it was.
Which was nuts. And since I've never really done like the open mic scene in Atlanta, like everyone was telling me, it's like, oh, you're only going to get 3 minutes. Like, it's really short, but like there's a lot more opportunities. I was like, okay, cool. So, like, I only prep for 3 minutes. We walk in, I sign up, and they're like,